This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, all. Am I audible? So please type in the chat box. Am I audible? If I am audible, you type as yes. Yeah, thank you. So once again, welcome to Ethical Hacking course. The journey into the world of ethical hacking, whether you are here to learn how to protect the system, then build your cyber security skills, or pursue a career in the information security. Okay, so you have made a smart choice, but the thing is, the question is, people will ask you, what is ethical hacking? So there's the first question. Okay, right? So what is ethical hacking? And people are asking, so saying that ethical hacking is nothing but, so we wanted to hack something in their phone or in their computer system. So it's not breaking the things. Okay, ethical hacking is not a breaking the things. So but here, protect them. Okay, so that you have to understand. Ethical hacking is not about breaking things, but about to protect them. So why I supposed to protect? Very simple. There will be a real-time hackers thinking like a hackers. Okay, so if you to defend the system from the actual threats, in this course you will learn how to test vulnerabilities, secure networks, and think critically, all within the legal and also ethical boundaries. So this is what about ethical hacking. So ethical hacking is nothing but you have to defend that vulnerabilities, you have to defend that exploit, you have to defend on hacking system. Okay, if person is hacking your computer system or Android systems, so you have to protect them. So just like a security, okay, all within the legal and also ethical boundaries. So what you can expect in this course? So in this course, there will be a complete hands-on practice with the tools and also the techniques used by the professionals. So this is what you can expect. I'll be writing here what to expect in this course. And the second thing is we will be trying to take the real world scenarios and also labs, and we'll try to understanding cybersecurity fundamental, how to protect your PC, and also staying up to date, updated with the current security trends. This is what you can expect in this course. But now, if I wanted to learn, so what is the steps? How we will learn? So to learn this course, we have step-by-step explanations we can expect, and interactive demos. Then we will try to give real-time assignments, and also we'll try to work on mini projects. So this is a overall view of your ethical hacking course. So before I start up the program, so just it is a welcome to ethical hacking course. So what you can expect, what is ethical hacking, then how do you plan for your learning. So this overall a small overview and introduction of this course. But before I start up this ethical hacking, so we wanted to have a networking concept. Okay, so without network, we cannot able to hack the system, or not hacking, so we cannot able to identify the computer system in a network. So that's why basic fundamental. So I'll start with the fundamental things. So what is required here? IP address is required. IP address, MAC address, then port numbers. So these are the most essential part of our ethical hacking. So first of all, you might have seen sometimes IP address, like there's a one more window. Here I can find some IP address example. So if I start pinging hyphen ping hyphen a, sorry, ping hyphen 4, I write google.com. So look at this. This is an example of IP address. And second IP address, if I take ping hyphen 4 gmail.com. So here also I'm having IP address. Ping hyphen 4 again, youtube.com. Press enter key. Copy. just it is an example. Someone is asking, how do I understand IP address? So every website, if you take, so behind of the website there is an IP address. So people will use the real-time IP address like this, and they'll try to send some phishing link and malicious link. Once if you open that, then it will start working on their exploits and also payloads. Then according to that payload, if there is a malicious things, then it start working on that. So, but basic thing is IP address. Okay, so we can worldwide any computer systems, if we have, they will have a IP address, just like it is an example like our website. Now the question is, sir, what exactly the structure of IP address? Now I wanted to understand the structure area. So here is an example. Already I have copied this IP address, like google.com IP address is so and so on, like 142.250.70.110. Then gmail.com 142.250.67.37. youtube.com 142.250.195.206. This is an IP address. But from the scratch, if I wanted to understand that IP address, so we'll talk about the structure part, structure of IP address. If I start, there are four fields. Every IP address, if I take, how many fields are there? There are four fields. And second thing is, each field is separated by dot. So I can name this as full stop. Each field is separated by dot, and each field has 8 bits capacity. Each field has 8-bit capacity. So again, there is a question: what is 8-bit? The people who computer basics, those who have studied, they used to tell 8-bit means 1 byte, something like this. So, but this is not the right answer. So, according to networking parameters, 8-bit is completely different. So now that answer is 8 bits means the range of 0 to 255 is called 8-bit. The range of 0 to 255 is called as 8-bit. So in another manner, I can name it as 256. 0 to 255, if I count, you would get 256. So this is the structure part. So field 1, field 2, field 3, field 4. So there are 4 fields. Then each field has 8-bit capacity. 8-bit means the range of 0 to 255. So in the structure part, if I start writing, this is a field 1, next field 2, field 3, field 4. Then this field has 8 bits capacity. Here also 8 bits capacity, 8 bits, again 8 bits. So every field has 8 bits capacity. So what is 8 bits? Every field you can use the range of 0 to 255, the range of 0 to 255, 0 to 255, 0 to 255. So totally you'd get 256 number, 256, 256, 256. This is the capacity now. Hope all of you understood this structure part of IP address. Now the question is, why do I use this IP address? So to identify every device in a network and to identify the network, we used to have IP address. Okay, so every IP address has two components. One is network ID and is host ID. So to identify host ID and network ID, there will be a concept called as IP classes. You have to study about IP classes. So IP class A, IP class B, IP class C, D, and E. These are the IP classes. So IP classes, first IP class A, which consists, the first field is network, second field is host, then third field is also host, fourth field is also host. Then class B, the first field is network field, second field is also network field, third field is host field, then fourth field is also host field. When we talk about class C, first field is network, second field is also network, third field is also network, then last one is host. But class A, B, C, which are used for computer network, but class D is used for multicasting, and class is used for R&D, research and development. When we talk about bits wise, like the parameters, if I class network ID and host ID portions, so network ID, network will have a 8 bits, then host has 24 bits. For class B, network consists of 16 bits, then host again going to be a 16 bits. Then for class C, network is 24 bits, then host is belongs to 8 bits. So this is the structure in the format of bits wise. Next question, sir, how to identify that IP address is belongs to class A, B, C? So how do I define it? Okay, or how do I identify it? So how to identify IP classes? So to identify the IP classes, always first you have to remember, if the IP class A, if you are using IP class A, you considered only the first field, not second field. Okay, I'm writing here. So first field, then second field, then third field, like this. So we will take only the first field range. I don't want second field and third field. Okay, if the number start from 1 to 126, between the range, then it belongs to class A. Then class B, 128 to 191. Then class C, 192 to 223. Class D, 224 to 239. Then class E, 240 to 254. So you have to consider only the first field. Do not take the references for second field and third field. Okay, we don't want. So any number started from 191 to 126, then it is a class A. Example, in this example, the first field it is 142. So 142 comes under here. So class B range. Okay, so class B, if I take, then this is your two fields is belongs to network, another two field is belongs to host. Okay, easily you can identify which class IP address it is. Okay, by seeing the first field we can identify which class is belongs to. Then some of the numbers I have not included here, so like a 0, then 127, then 255. So these are the numbers. So these are the numbers which have not considered for host. So which is not considered in the host. So we'll be saying that 0 is your network id, then 127 is your loopback address, then what 55 is your broadcast address. So these are the numbers are not valid. 1 minute if you have the line. So 0 is network ID, 127 is loopback address, 255 is your broadcast address. So because of these reasons, these numbers are not valid. Numbers are not valid. Assign to a host. If I have a computer, I cannot able to assign these numbers 0 I cannot able to assign, 127 I cannot able to assign, and 255 numbers I cannot assign to a computer. But you can use it for the specifications as I've already mentioned here: network ID, then loop back address, and broadcast address. Based on this, we have to use it. Okay, now the next question is, sir, should I pay for money? Suppose if I want to use public IP. So this is an example of public IP where the websites, real-time websites, people will use. So those are all public IP. But if I have a organization, okay, so like around I have 200 computers, 1,000 computers. So how can I use? Should I pay for this? No. So there is a IP address classifications, naming that private IP and also public IP. So public IP, which is used in the wide area network, which is also called as WAN, and private IP, which is used in LAN. So LAN stands for local area network. Then this is to be the wide area network. So if I have around 200 computers or set of 1,000 computers, I have to use some set of range. Okay, so make ensure which class you will be using. So if I using class A, then class B, based on the classes, the IP address which are classified, that range started from 10.0.0.0 to 10.255.255.255. So this is your private IP address range of class A. Then for class B, 172.16.0.0 to 172.31.255.255. Next, class C, 192.168.0.0 to 192.168.255.255. This is a range of private IP address. But other than any number, remaining numbers, everything is belongs to public. So public IP address. Hope you all of you understood. Private IP address range, then public IP address range, then IP classes, class A, B, C, D, E. How to identify by identifying the first field range. Then what is a bit capacity in the class IP classes, class A, B, C, D, E. So class A bitwise 8 bits for network, 24 bits for host, and every IP address will have a network ID and host ID. So now according to this example, as I started in the beginning, I took these two numbers. Okay, so now could you able to identify which class it is? So this is a real time IP I have taken. So which class it is? So the answer is class B. So if it is class B, then what is the network capacity, or how many fields is belongs to network? So 142 is network, then 250 is again network, then remaining two numbers like 70 is your host, 110 again host. Then in the second parameters, again is belongs to 142 is network, 250 again network, then 67 host, 37 host. So By seeing this, you have to understand network ID is always unique. But host numbers are always changing system to system. If you have two systems, then number will change. But that entire computer systems is belongs to which network? 142.250, and one more I said here, network ID is 0.0. So now these two computers is belongs to which network? Then one more question here. I wanted to identify which class, which network, what is the network ID of these two IP address. Network ID of these two IP address. So network ID is, as I told you, 142.250 dot, then one more I said here, this is your network ID. So start from this 0.0. This is your network ID. Then what will be the last ID? Last means broadcast 142.250.255.255. So this is your network ID. This is your broadcast ID. So in between whatever numbers you are getting, those all belongs to host range, host numbers or host ID. Let's start from 142.250.0.1. Then up to it will go 254. Then again 142.250.0.254. Here also I supposed to get 254. Then here also I supposed to get 254. This is your first IP, and this would be the last IP. This is considered as host range or host ID range. Hope all of you understood. Is there any doubts? Could you ask me? Did you understand this logic? So network ID is always start with zeros and make ensure which class it is. Based on the classes, identify how many fields are network, how many fields are host. This is a real-time IP I took, then identified that which class it is, then portions, the first field portions, second field portions, and make ensure which are the unique and which are the changeable IP. And based on that, what is your network ID and what is your broadcast ID and what is your host range. This is a small example how you have to identify for the entire throughout your course. Now the next question, every IP address if you take, there will be a concept called as subnet mask. So subnet mask, this is also a four field IP numbers, decimal numbers, and which are used mainly used to identify the range of IP address of each network. If I say 2 network, 3 network, 10 networks, for every IP, for every network, how much IP address range or how much computers I can use. So how do I identify? To identify each network, what is the host number capacity? So we have to use subnet mask. This is the standard subnet mask. So this is also called as classful address. So class A, classful, class B, classful, class C. So class A 255.0.0.0, then class B 255.255.0.0, then class C 255.255.255.0. Now the question is, sir, what is 255? So 255, that denotes your network. Then 0 is host. 0 is always host in this subnet mask. Then 255 is your network. Now same thing I can relate to this area, like an 1 is network, then 3 fields is host, and here second is the first one and second one is network, third one is host. For class C, 3 networks, 1 host. So according to our calculations, now if I use class A, so how many IP address range I can use it per network? So per network, how many addresses, how many host or computer I can use it here? So just understand here how many fields are there here. So there are 3 fields. Okay, so 3 field capacity is what? 8-bit capacity here, 8-bit capacity here, and 8-bit capacity. 8-bit means already I told you here, 256, 256, 256. The range of 0 to 255 is called as 256. So 256 into 256 into 256. If you multiply, then what is the answer will you be getting? Could you tell me in the chat box what will be the answer? Multiply this and get me the answer. How much number you will you be getting? Yes, yes, correct. 167772216. This is the number. Actually, this is the host per network. Just imagine, per network I will be using these many computers. Okay, 167 lakhs 77,216 host number of computers per network, and imagine how many networks I have here. Okay, so now per network I am getting 167772216 into 256 times, and get me the answer now. What will be the answer now? This is per network and this is the total number of networks. What is the answer now? Yes, say the correct. Ashika is correct. Kartika correct. Yukta, yeah, yours is also correct. Netravati, you also correct. So now, whenever you use class A, 4 billions of IP address. Imagine 4 billions. Okay. Now, if I take class B, I'm going to take class B now. So class B, two networks I have and two hosts. So now I'll take only the host part. So 256 into 256. How much answer? So now one field is converted that into network. So I'm getting 65,536. Yeah, it's correct. Good. Whenever you use class B, 65,536 host per network. Again, if I take per network 65,536 into what is the total number of networks you have? Again, 65,536. Are you getting the same answer? You check. Because two field is network, two field is host. I'm getting same result. Now calculate for class C. So class C have only 256. 256 host per network. Whenever you use class C, what is the network capacity? Means host capacity per network maximum is 256. So per network 256 host into this is your answer already you have calculated, means number of networks you have 3 times. So total number of networks 256 into 256 into 256. So this is your total networks. So total networks into 256. Calculate now. Will you be getting the same answer? Yes. But what is the major changes whenever you use class A, B, C? What are the major changes here? All classes will have the same numbers. There is no changes, but only lot of changes are going to be happen whenever you use the class A, B, C. So imagine if you have less than 250 computers. If you have less than 250 computers, then which class will you use? You suggest me, will you use class A, B, C? I have 256, 250 computers. But now I wanted to assign an IP address. Now which class would you suggest? So Yukta is saying class A. Okay. Any other answer? Ashika, Kritika, sorry, Kartika. I have only less than 250 computers, but you don't want to waste your IP address. So according to the requirement, so which class will you be using? Ashika saying that class C. Saida class A. Okay. Okay. So the answer is, as a network designer, as a network engineer, so I used to prefer class C. Okay. Why? The reason is I have a less than 250 computers, and per network I will be using only less than 250 computers. Okay, look at this. What is the total number of hosts per network? So based on this, you have to assume that which class you are supposed to be used. So in such case, if I take class C, 192.168.10.255, 192. Okay, there's the answer. No problem. Now, and I'm giving you that second question now. 192, 168, 50.50, 192, 168, 10.100, 192, 168, 51.51, 75, 192, 168, 50.100. Now you tell me, I have 5 IPs. All 5 IPs. My question is that belongs to same network? The network is same. Use chat box and type the answer. I have 5 IPs. So for all 5 IPs, my question is that network is same. Okay, Chandana saying that yes, Aditya yes, then Kartika yes, Veda yes. Okay. Okay. First now, analyze first. All 5 IPs is not the same network. We have a different network. But all 5 IPs belongs to class C. 5 IPs class C, but not a network. How? Look at this. First IP and This is the second IP. This is your third IP. This is the last. So now according to our classification, the class A, first field is network, then second field is also network, then third field is also network. Now the network numbers are matching. 192 is matching the one number and second number. Second is also matching. Third field is also matching. But the last field is not matching because that is a host number. Now, what is the network ID for this IP? I have to check later. Now, this is again network ID, network ID, network ID. Then last one is host. The third category again network ID, network ID, network ID, and host ID. Now you tell me, is that in the same network or different network? Is that same network or different network? 192.168.50. Yeah, it is completely different network. This network is not connected to this network. This network IP is not connected to 51 network. So this is the basics things. Before you hacking, first understand that IP network is important. If you did not understand this, so it will be a problem like in the future, if you did not classify this network like 192.168.10, 192.168.50, 192.168.51. Okay, so how do you understand? Is that same network or different network? If it is, if you are master in that IP, then you can classify them immediately. Okay, this is the network, and we can. I wanted to trace all the computers in the same network. How many networks? How many hosts is available per network? This is a basic requirement as a hackers you have to think. So when you know the basic structure, then you can get the good answer here. Okay, so now if it is different network, then what is my network ID of these two IP address, and what is the network ID of these two network, and what is the network ID of this network? I have a IP of this one 50 10. Okay, 192.168.10, 192.168.50, 192.168.51. Now I wanted to find out what is my network ID now. Network ID of this IP. So network ID is 192.168.10.0. This is the answer. 10.0 is the answer. This is the network ID of these two computers or for these two IP address. Next, sir, what is a broadcast ID? So broadcast ID now. Broadcast ID of this IP 192.168, then 10.255. This is a broadcast. So in between, whatever number you will be getting. So It started from 192.168.10.1 to 10.254. This is you considered as a host ID range. This host ID range, in between these host ID range itself, you will be getting these two IP address. Hope all of you understood. So use the chat box. If that understood, you type as yes. Or else you ask me if you have doubts one to one. These are the two IPs. These two IPs comes under this network, and for this network, this is the broadcast ID, and these two comes in between the range of 10.1 to 10.255. This is a complete any network, any IP address you take, that every IP address will have a network ID and a broadcast ID, and start IP address of host number or host ID, and last number of the host ID. Now, can you guess and tell me that for the second one, what would be the network ID and what would be the host ID in the chat box? So you tell me what is the network ID and broadcast ID and host ID for the second one, whichever I have given. There itself you have answer. Just you have to observe the numbers. Chandana 192.168.50.0. Yeah, it's correct, Chandana. Zaida, it's correct. You are also correct. So, Hartika, yeah, yours also correct. No? But write broadcast ID now. Broadcast ID and host ID. You complete this. So, write host network ID, broadcast ID, and host ID. All three you write for this second one. Yeah, Aditya, yeah, it's correct. So write in the chat box only. You write all three. Yeah, it's correct, Yukta. Broadcast ID. Yeah, it's correct. Correct. Mitra, yours also correct. So Ashika, yes, correct, ma. Host ID range. Yeah, it's correct. Correct. Zaida, correct. Good. Super. So nice. Network ID 192.168.50.0. Then broadcast 192.168. 50.255. then start IP 192.168.50.1 to 50.254. This is your host range. So for this one also I'll be having this answer. So this is belongs to what 51 network. 51, 51, 51, 1, 2. Last will be 51.250. Hope all of you understood this. Now I'll give one assignment, practical assignment. Assignment is you take minimum 25 websites, any websites you take, website names, and identify the IP address. Once if you identify the IP address, then you write which IP class it is, belongs. Then second one, identify the network ID of the IP. Next again, identify the broadcast ID of the IP, and again identify the host range of the IP. One example I will be taking. So we find that youtube.com IP address is your website. youtube.com is your IP address. So now the answer is which class it is. So the classes. Okay, you only tell me the right answer, then I will proceed next. Write in the chat box. Website name is youtube.com. I only given IP address. Then remaining four criteria you work and you tell me in the chat box area. You full all four answer you make it in one go. So write IP class, then network ID, then host ID. Okay. Okay. For your understanding purpose, I will show you once again what is the range. Could you see this? The first field it started from 142. So 142 does it comes under which area you check first? So based on this, you have to identify this. Is the skills is required. So not only learning and writing in the notebook. So no use. After learning, how do you implement in the real time? That is an important criteria. So implementation, application is important. So anybody can learn and anybody can drop by the program. But the thing is, how many people will be working on this? Yeah, correct. And you check it for other three criterias, the three queries. What is your network ID, broadcast ID, and host range? Yes. The answer is this class B. Then network ID is 142.250.0.0. Yes. Priyanka, your answer is correct. Netra, class B, 195. No. Oh, Netra, little bit last one is incorrect. So because this is a class B. Okay. So class B is having how much network? Only two. Okay. Look at this. So 2 network, then class C 3 network, class A 1 network. So we have to find next broadcast 142.250.255.255. This is your broadcast IP. Then next host range 142.250.0.1 to 142.250.254.254, like this. There is a host range. Yes, broadcast ID. So most of them you have tried, but the answer is correct. Well tried, Netra, Kartika, Priyanka, Yukta, then Ashika, then Kritika. Good, well attempted. So this is how you have to find. Now the question is, sir, how to implement this IP? How do I implement IP address? So to implement IP address, there are two ways. I can implement by manually, I can implement automatically. So if I want to implement manually, then I need network operators. Then if I want implement that into automatically, then I required DHCP server. So these are the changes. To implement automatically, DHCP server is required. Manually, if I want to implement it, network operators is required. So DHCP stands for Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. So for your understanding purpose, so I'll be using one simulations. Now let's see manually how it can be done. So this is an application like a Cisco packet tracer, that also you can download it in the internet, that I will show you later. So take these two computer system. Okay, I'll be taking. So this is your networking devices, then end devices. So I'm going to take computer 1, computer 2, computer 3, just like this. Even you can take laptop also, no problem. So PC 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to take one switch. This is a switch. And take cables. So now to connect this cable, I'll be using straight through cable. Connect it here, whichever port you want. Take any port, no problem. So this is a small network. Now I wanted to assign an IP address here. So to assign IP address, so click on this, go to the desktop IP and static I'm using, means manually 192.168.10.1. Click subnet mask, automatically identifies that which class and what has to be given. So close this. Then again go to the second, but it must be in same network 192.168.10.2. Next 10.3, 10.3. Click subnet mask. Next 192.168.10.4. Click on this. Now you check the connectivity. Use command prompt ping ping 192.168.10.2. Press enter key. Are you getting the screen? Whatever command I am performing now. Save this command prompt, type this ping 192.168.10.5 and press enter key. So 10.5 is not there in this network, so it's not communicated. And again go from this last computer, ping 192.168.10.1. I'm having a reply. 10.2, again I have a reply from that machine. 10.3, yes, it's connected. So this stuff is considered as a manual IP assignment. Okay, now the same thing I'm going to take with the help of server. Okay, so this is a server. Again, introduce a switch, take multiple computers. And take a cable, straight through cable, connect whichever port you want. Okay, by mistakenly it's happened. Then to delete this, take this and press escape key. So do not take console, only the yellow color port you take, and connect your server to the switch. So now what I will do is I'll be assigning one IP address for identifying the server. Go to this part of desktop, IP 192.168.50.1 I will give, then close this. Now go to services. In this services, I will be making use of DHCP. Turn on DHCP services, and this is your start IP. I wanted to start my IP address from 50.100 onwards. Okay, then 255 is everything is correct, and click save. So then close this. Now any computer system, if that connected to server, so server will give an IP address from 50.100 onwards. So just you click on this, go to the desktop, go to the IP config, and look at this. I'm clicking on DHCP and requested IP address, and the DHCP server which has given the first IP 50.100. Next 50.100, next one which will take 100.1, 50.101. Look at this. Next again DHCP 50.102. Next again 103. Next I wanted to check the communication now. Go to command prompt 192.168.10.50. So 50, sorry, 50.1. So 50.1 is not a valid one. So check out what is our DHCP server IP 192.168.50.1. Use ping command 192.168.50.1 now. Look at this. Sorry. 50.100. So I have a communication 50.101, 102, next 103, 104. So 104 is not there, but in future, like again, if I take a one more system, if I wanted to add like the two computer systems I have right now, then take a cable, connect on this, again connect it, again come back and stay tuned with the DHCP. So it's saying that DHCP failed. So again, what you do, close this, go to IP, static, again put DHCP. So IP address still is not established for the new machine, because that new machine has to be identified by the DHCP server. Look at this. It will take its own time. Then again come back and check the DHCP. As you keep on adding to the existing network, which will also start giving the IP address. 106. Again for this machine I am not getting. Again set this to static and DHCP now, and look at this. So once it is identified by that machine, then which will ready to give now. So this is your simple one, but you need a lot of IP address knowledge to control this area. Okay, so now this IP address, this particular network, what network it is, network ID is 192.168.50.0 network, and this is your 10.0 network, 192.168.10.0 network. That's all. So ask me if you have any doubts now. Is there any doubts? So here I have a question, where you have to take 15 websites. Okay, sorry, not 15, 25 websites. So by the next class, you finish this assignment, how I have done in this area. In the same pattern, you complete for remaining 25 websites. So identify which website you want, then identify the IP address, and which classes belongs to network ID, host ID, and broadcast ID. I will give you 2 minutes of time. Just you ask me if you have any doubts in the fundamental task. So what is the command should I use to identify the IP address? Ping me in WhatsApp or chat box. Which command should I use to identify this IP address of the website? All you have addressed, right? So now which command should I use now? Or else I gave an assignment 25 websites IP address, then which command will you be using? To identify this, use ping, small letter ping, hyphen 4, then website name, like this. Then only you will get the answer. Whatever number you have right now, this is the complete area of IPv version number 4. So IPv version number 4 has 32 bits capacity. So what is 32-bit capacity? You got the answer right here. How much is any class? If you calculate, you will be getting 4 billions of IP. So that is the beauty of 32-bit address. So it's in the format of bits. Again, IPv version number 5. It's a 64 bits address capacity. Then IPv6 has 128 bits capacity. But IPv version number 5 is a failure version, so nobody is using right now. This is a succeeded version. So this is also successful version. IPv version number 6 and IPv version number 4. So as of now, whatever you have learned, it belongs to IPv version number 4. Is it clear? Okay. So we'll meet you in the next class. If you have any queries, you post me. If you have any questions or doubts regarding for IP address, so drop your message in the WhatsApp, then I can reply you. Or else, once if I start the session, I can give you a time, sufficient time. You discuss with me while working with your assignments. What you could not happen, that we will see later. I hope all of you understood this. So we'll meet up in the next session. Thank you all.